Alright, greetings Kiss Nation, and today this is going to be a video that I have been working on for quite some time since I saw Xander's video on the same subject showing Kiss merch from 76 to 2026. Um, and I'm not going to go all the way to 2026 in this video because I don't have any Kiss merch from 2026 yet, but I hope to fix it. Whether it's Kiss related or actual Kiss merch, I'll see what I can do. But right now, this is going to be um, from 76 to 2025. So let's have some fun. Let's talk some Kiss. All right, for 76, I am going with this Canadian cassette of Rock and Roll Over. It is a really good order of the album, in my opinion. It matches the order of the Canadian 8-track, but I don't know if this is going to have the same special features that the 8-track had. The 8-track with Mr. Speed shortened it down, no solo, just pulsing, just getting to the point where pulses, I don't care. Dr. Love, you hear the solo twice. And Love 'Em and Leave 'Em, you hear the solo twice. So that's pretty cool. I would like to know if this actually follows the 8-track to a T, or does it just, the standard studio cuts? That'd be kind of curious to see, but the only one way to find out. Next, for 77, we have Love Gun. This is another Canadian pressing of Love Gun, and this is a pretty good version of the album. I do like that they put Plaster Caster as the closer, and then She Kissed Me as like an in the middle type of album song. I always thought that's where it belonged anyway. It was in the middle, not. It didn't feel like a proper Kiss closer. Plaster Caster though does. All right, now for 78, and we are doing Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park on Laserdisc, and I've been on the I was on the hunt for this for a few years now, and I came across one on eBay, but they wanted, I'll use Rick's word, Slayer Forever money, and I couldn't afford that. What I found instead was one that's a little bit cheaper than what their seller wanted. I grabbed that, and I had an experience with Kiss Meets Phantom when I was becoming a Kiss fan. Would watch that movie for Kissology Volume 2, and I know Rick thinks of this as a October movie, but I tend to think of this as a summer movie because it's summer, you're out of school, you're going to amusement parks, and you might hear Kiss at the park also, which is pretty cool. Now for 79, I am going with Dynasty, the Priceless Collection version, which is another Canadian pressing. And what this one did differently was it reversed the order of the album. No, excuse me. Side 1 starts with Charisma, Magic Touch, Hard Times, Actualize and Save Your Love, which is how the album ends. Side 2, I Was Made for Loving You, 2000 Man, Show Something in Dirty Living, which is how the album is supposed to begin. But I do like this reversal of the order. Hearing the middle and end part of the Dynasty first, and hearing the beginning and middle part for Dynasty on side 2. I like that. Next is another international pressing. This is a Italian pressing of Kiss Unmasked. And this also has another weird order. Starts with Easy As It Seems, Is That You, Naked City, Shandy, She's So European, Talk to Me, Tomorrow, Torpedo Girl, Two Sides of a Coin, A Mixture Will Go Round, and You're All That I Want. I like the fact that they kept You're All That I Want as the album closer. It's a really good closer. It's my favorite song of the album. I do like Easy As It Seems and Naked City and Shandy, She's So European. I like all the songs except for What Makes the World Go Round. I like most of the songs. All right, for 81, we're doing The Elder. This is the 1997 remastering of The Elder on cassette. And while I do have The Elder on 8-track, I wanted to showcase this cassette because the 8-track, albeit it's a jumbled up order, I do like showing a version of The Elder that has the way it was supposed to be. Fanfare, Just a Boy, and all that stuff. Now, The Elder as an album in general, I wouldn't call it into my top 20 Kiss albums I listen to on repeat, but it's one I'll listen to sometimes because it's an interesting album. I do find with this album you got to be in a certain type of mood to listen to The Elder. And it's a really cool album, though. I love some of the songs on this album. All right, next for 82. we're doing a Creature soundboard, Rockford 82. This is an early concert of a Creatures tour because, you know, Rock and Roll Hell was still in the set list. By 83, that song was gone. But it's a really, really cool concert. You get to hear like more Creature songs than what was in the later one. You get Creatures of a Night, I Love It Loud, Rock and Roll Hell, and I Still Love You, which is that song got played in '83 also, but you know, more of a hard rocking ones like Creatures of a Night and I Love It Loud were the only ones that survived to the '83 half of the tour. Rock and Roll Hell got axed, which is a bit unfortunate. That song sounds so good live. It sounded really good on this. Sounds really good on the Creatures Kiss cruise. Speaking of more Creature soundboards, we have this one for '83, which is Toronto '83. This is a good soundboard. I do like this concert. Um, it's a really cool concert for like Kiss from early Kiss with early Vinnie Vincent Kiss stuff, and I also like it because it has Eric Carr on it, and like huge Eric Carr fan as far as like his time in Kiss. It was pretty cool. So it's cool to have a soundboard with some soundboards with him on it. It was really cool. I'll show the pictures in the inside the CD. All right, for '84, we are doing another soundboard, Lick It Up soundboard from Toronto '84. And this one is a really cool soundboard. You get to hear all some good Lick It Up stuff. It's like a glove, give me more. All hell's breaking loose. I'm young and wasted. So that's pretty cool. I do like this one. It's actually my first Lick It Up soundboard I got, which is like really cool. Show you the pictures on the inside. All right, now for '85. I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be showcasing two things from '85. An Animalized soundboard, which is really cool. It's a soundboard with Bruce and Eric Carr on it, which I know Kiss fans have been wanting that, and from Kiss we actually got it. But before Kiss actually released one, this was one of the few soundboards I listened to that had Bruce Kulick and Eric Carr on it. It's really good, and I wish Kiss would release more soundboards from this time period, but it's still cool. We have it anyway, and it's not, even though it's not put up by Kiss, we still have it anyway. It's a really, really cool concert, and it still does the weird Oh Susanna thing, which I could never understand why Kiss included that in the mid '80s. Never really understood that. And for the final thing of '85, it is this, the Kiss Tears Are Falling CD video. And what a CD video is, you need a Laserdisc player to play the video half, and also you can play the audio half on the player also. Then if you only want to listen to the audio, put it in a DVD player or CD player, and it works. But the whole thing, it's pretty nice. There's a lot of these CD videos out there of Kiss that are from their non-makeup career. And to me, I felt like Mercury was promoting Kiss this way. You get a music video and some songs from the album to kind of make you want to get the album because you want to hear the rest of the song or want to hear the rest of the album. It's a really cool thing that Mercury did. I like that. For '86, keeping in the soundboard theme, one from Erie '86 from the Asylum tour. This is a really cool Asylum board. This is my first one I listened to whenever I heard about these soundboards. I grabbed Asylum, and this is the first one I listened to, and it's really cool. Case is a little bit busted, but you know, we have like pictures of them from the Asylum era in the front. And we have on the back, we got Paul's Asylum look, which is very '80s. I don't really want to damage the case, but like I got to get that fixed. Now for '87, we got Creatures of the Night. And I like this album. It's a pretty solid Kiss album. I don't like Gene's first song, No No No, but I do love his other ones. Hell or High Water, Good Girl Gone Bad, and The Thief in the Night. I do like those songs. No No No, I don't know. I really couldn't get into it when I was getting it. When I was getting into Kiss, I was like, I can't get into it, and I really couldn't get into it later. It's like, oh well. But I do like this album though. Um, all right, so now for 88, and I've got Smashes, Fractures, and Hits, and Crazy Nights, Laserdisc, and what's the wrong one? Whoops. And Kiss Exposed. I'll start with Smashes first. Smashes was the first Kiss album that I bought with my own money, and it was also my gateway to the 80s Kiss catalog. X and Sex, Big Rock Hard, which I didn't know that was exclusively to this album, but it still introduced me to him anyway. Love Gun, Rock City, I Love It Loud, which I Love It Loud, this album is terrible. Deuce, Lick It Up, introduced me to Heaven's on Fire, and Tears Are Falling. And I love Beth with Eric Carr. I know that version gets a lot of, hate, but I love Beth with Eric Carr on vocals. It's really good. Even though Eric Carr did not want to do the song, it's still pretty good. Still pretty good. And now for the Crazy Nights Laserdisc. What this basically is the Crazy Nights music videos. You got Crazy Nights, Reason to Live, and Turn on the Night, which I read the whole thing backwards. Doesn't matter. It's still the same set of songs. But this one is about the same size as a 45-inch single. Kind of makes sense because Laserdiscs are like a record, but are the same size as a record, I guess. And this is really cool. I mean, I like this. This is the last Kiss Laserdisc that I got so far. It took me a while to find this. This one's rare on this format. This is extremely rare, and it's cool that I have it. Now for Kiss Exposed. I remember watching Kiss Exposed on YouTube back in 2008 and 9, and it was okay. Even watching it now when I picked this up, I thought it was this is cheesy as all get out, but it's another type of fun cheesiness. Kiss had the 70s. Kiss for Family Park had the 70s cheesiness. This has the 80s cheese, and it's pretty cool. I like it. I do love the clips they show. I love the music videos for Asylum, which I never really saw those before, and I liked hearing I Love It Loud from Rio, Deuce from San Francisco 75, Strutter from Detroit 76, and the list just goes on and on. But I love this. This is a really good documentary, if we can call it documentary. All right, so for 89, I'm going with Hot in the Shade. This is a really good album for Kiss. Obviously, there's some songs here that I am not a huge fan of. Don't Like Forever and Love to Stop in the Face. Bring My Body, it's okay. Not one of my favorites off the album, but it's okay. It's not bad. My favorite one is Cadillac Dreams and You Love Me to Hate You. I love that song. And The Street Give Up is really good. And Little Caesar is awesome. We have an Eric Carr vocal Kiss song. I love that. It's really cool. All right. Now, after that, we're going into 1992 with this Kiss Extreme Close-Ups, American release and international release from Japan. I much like with Kiss Exposed, I have a history with this, watching it on YouTube in 2008 and 9 also. Not the music clips part, but the vocal documentary halves of the video, and it was really cool. Although I never did know where this came from until recently when I picked up this on Laserdisc, and I was like, oh, I've seen this before. I saw this on YouTube like years ago. I just instantly remembered that. And it has some songs and music videos that I never thought but I didn't know about. Unholy, Sure Know Something, That's Me for Loving You, Um, this is, also, I saw the Forever video and the I Just Wanted video, but I like the I Just Wanted video. It's really cool. And this one, all to make it different in a sense, is the movie's still in English, but you get Japanese subtitles, which is pretty cool. All right, for 93, we are going with Kiss Confidential. Xander calls this the rated R sequel to Kiss Extreme Close-Ups, and gotta admit he's right, because there are some music clips in here that are really R-rated, especially Take It Off. That's pretty cool. I like what they've basically what you're hearing is the Alive free recordings of this for this time period, and I like what it says. You've heard Alive 3, now live it with us. I like that. Yeah, this is a really cool thing. It's not something I watch a lot, but I do watch it quite a bit, and it's really cool. It's really cool. All right, for the other Laserdisc, we're going with this Kiss My Ass. Xander showed the vinyl of it. Now I'm going to be showing the Laserdisc of it, and this is a really cool video. You got Kiss clips from the 70s and 90s, and you get to hear some songs that wound up being on the Kiss My Ass album, like She from Anthrax, Christine 16 from Gin Blossoms. You know, it's really, really cool. And I do like the cover art on this. The family at the dinner table and the Kiss flag and the American flag is right there, and they're all in Kiss paint. I like that. I also like it in the other releases where you get like a different flag each version. I do like that. All right, for 1995, I'm going to be doing Alive 3.5. Hold up. All right, sorry about that. For 1995, I'm going to be showing off Kiss Alive 3.5 and this tribute album called Kisses from the Past. Alive 3.5. I have some history with this album. This is a soundboard from Kiss in Tokyo, Japan of '95, and it's really good. It's got some really cool Kiss songs on here. It's got King of the World as the opener, Deuce, Shout Out Loud, Parasite, Creatures of the Night, Dr. Love, Making Love, Tears Are Falling, Domino, Smith for Loving You, Watching You, Firehouse, and I Want You for side B, side A. Side B is Love Gun, She, Lick It Up, Forever, I Love It Loud, Black Diamond, Rock City, Heaven's on Fire, and God Gave Rock and Roll to You, which is called Gad Gave Rock and Roll to You, and Rock and Roll All Night. This is a really cool thing. I have some history with this. I saw some of these song clips on YouTube a long time ago, but it didn't have this logo. It had the Kiss Alive Free logo with 1.5 like spray painted basically with that spray paint effect. It's like, yeah, it looks pretty. Sounds good, but I'll prefer like this one better because like that one obviously was like a bootlegged cover of the Alive 3 cover. This is pretty good. I do like listening to this album once in a while. It's pretty fun. And Kisses from the Past, it's a really good tribute album. You got songs like Deuce, Truck City, Fleming Youth, and all the versions of this are pretty good, and I like this. And for being a '90s tribute album for Kiss, I don't know if it had like I can't remember if it had like one song that went bad or not. But like I know that was like the thing about the '90s Kiss tribute albums. It has like this perfect beginning, and it's just kind of like it fizzles out. But this one was pretty good. I do like this one. Now for 1996, we're doing Kissin' Time. This is a really good tribute album for Kiss. It's got some songs that are from like bands that I've talked about on past reviews, like Kiss of Thunder and doing Let Me Go Rock and Roll, Black Totem, which is doing Dr. Love. And I was like, I heard that version going back to MySpace days. I heard that song, this version of the song, and it's a really good tribute album. It's put out by Tribute Records, which put out Kiss of Thunder and Kais Alive, and it's really good. It's really good. Do like that they used the Rock and Roll Over called it Rock and Roll Ain't Over, which is pretty funny. I like that. All right, for 97, we have How to Rock Fans. This is a Australian Kiss tribute album, and it's got some really good versions of songs. Cadillac Dreams which has never been on a Kiss tribute album since being on this. It never really came back. I like hearing Cadillac Dreams on this. Shock Me is good. Almost Human is, I think I remember Almost Human was pretty solid on this album. Then we got Love Gun, Dark City, and Colgin in a Kiss medley. So it's really cool. I do like this album. Now for 98, we have two editions for 98. KAOL Music from the Folder and KAOL 2 Creatures of the Net. The KAOL albums are one of the top-notch Kiss tribute albums of like the 90s and in the 2000s. They were fucking top-notch and good covers of the songs, with the exception of Almost Human, which was like that song doesn't have a good rep on tribute albums. Well, for 90s albums, we got a good rendition of Almost Human from Kiss My Chilean Ass in 2022, which is years after it being butchered in the 90s. But I do love my favorite rendition is God of Thunder by Jurassic Army. That's really cool. And their own Love You from KAOL, it's okay. Then we got KAOL 2 Creatures of the Net, which is basically a spoof of Creatures of the Night album cover. But I have a lot of really good versions of this one. Kiss in Time from a KAOL Stars, which is the only Kiss in Time that I will listen to. That and maybe Clown Alive 2's Kiss in Time. My favorite also is by his two-timer by Lithium. Also Christine 16 by Roland DeLugo. That's a really good version of Christine 16. For 2000, I am going to be showcasing the Kiss video games, the Dreamcast game and the PS1 game. For the Dreamcast game, I've played this a bit in the past, and it's a really fun game. I mean, as fun as a Kiss first-person shooter can be, it's pretty fun. I like it. And the Kiss pinball game, I like it also, but I think the Dreamcast game is a little bit better. Not that the pinball game is any bad. I mean, they had a missed opportunity to have Kiss music in the background for this game. We got Kiss themed pinball tables by 2, and we got like generic rock background music. But still, it was a cool find to find this at a game store. Both games are really good. I like that. I like this one. I also did like a video of it on my Resurrected 1100 channel. So did a video for that game on over there. All right, 2001. I will be pulling out this KAOL Free Spirit of 78 and a Kiss VCD of The Second Coming. I'll start with this first. This is the documentary on for the reunion tour, and it's a really cool documentary. I didn't know this existed on VCD, but in the few weeks I didn't know VCD existed in general. It's like a in between format between DVDs and CDs. It does some features that DVD later used, like stopping where you left off. If you stop the movie, it continues right where you left off. And you can't do chapter select on these, which is kind of weird. Which DVD kind of took over chapter select. This is still a good. This is a really good find. And I got this brand new and sealed. However, the if you hear the disc holder is a little bit rattled. Well, it's been in the plastic wrap since 2001, so I was the first one to break the seal. That's really cool. Now for KOL 3 Spirit of 78. This is a tribute album to the solo albums, which has never been done before by any other Kiss tribute album or tribute band. I do like that they just kind of did a whole tribute thing to the solo albums. We got Tiny Bill and Me from Destroyer, Radioactive by Sound Magazine, which they did it in like a Partridge Family style way, which is kind of hilarious actually. We got Too Cool for School, which is an Eric Carr song, which is really cool that they put that in. Ton of Love by Lithium. It's really good. My favorites are Don't You Let Me Down, Tell You Belong to Me, and yeah, Ton of Love. And I do love Too Cool for School. That's really awesome that they included an Eric Carr song that I guess was demoed when he was working with Kiss, but it never really got to a full album. All right, so now it is 2002, and I'm going to be showcasing Unpainted. And Unpainted is a really good Kiss tribute album. He's even got Kiss Forever Band on as one of the artists on this album, and they do Thief in the Night, which is my favorite song off Crazy Nights. And I do like how Kiss Forever Band does it. It's more heavier than what Kiss did on Crazy Nights. We got Frozen Night by Unmasked, another good one, and all of this is really cool. You know, we got The Inside of Your Face, Tears Are Falling. I think the one that I don't like was the Pornographs, Let's Put the X in Sex. That one didn't count right to me. Like that, this rendition didn't exactly feel right. All right, and for 2003, I was showcasing Kiss Symphony on cassette. This is a pretty rare cassette to find. Same with the album though. This is pretty hard to find on cassette. I was lucky enough to find this on Discogs, and it was new and sealed. And I want to get Kiss Symphony on vinyl so it can kind of be like I have it on both formats. But I'm pretty happy with how it is on cassette. I do like the packaging of this. It's really cool. It's really nice. And this is probably this is the last pressed Kiss cassette at all by the band. It's really cool. It's really cool. I didn't know this existed on cassette, and it was so awesome that I learned that it made it there. All right. Then we got 2004, and I'm going to be showcasing a few Rock the Nation concert discs. We got Kiss in Brisbane 2004 and Kiss in Perth 2004. Perth was the first show to kick off the Rock the Nation tour, and it has some really solid songs like Cruise of the Night, Dr. Love as a second song to begin as a kind of like a show opener, which has not really been done before by Kiss. Apologies for State of Rock and Roll, which is awesome to hear live. I Love It Loud, Christian 16 Tears Are Falling, War Machine, Lick It Up, I Want You, and some really cool shit on this album and on this one also. This one, during Us for Loving You in Truck City, they were using the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra, which is pretty cool. This was a year after they did the Symphony thing, and they were still playing with the orchestra in certain shows in Australia. Not in this one, but I know in this one and in if it's either Sydney or Melbourne that they pull it, but they pull it out the orchestra also. These are really cool. Kind of like they're not soundboards, but they are like good quality audio recordings. All right, for 2005. I'm doing Okay, back to 2005, and I'm going to be showcasing another tribute album, Kiss Cover to Cover. It's basically a tribute album of cover songs that Kiss did, but they're doing them on this album. The bands are covering the same Kiss covers, and it's really cool. Um, I haven't listened to this yet, but it's a really cool CD. I have like these songs. It's They Do Kissing Time, Then She Kissed Me Any Way You Want It, Tossing and Turning, New York Groove, and When You Wish Upon a Star, which don't really wish that was part of the list, but okay. 2000 Man, Gotta Rock and Roll You, and Do You Remember Rock and Roll Radio, which is like the Ramones song that Kiss covered. It's really cool. Um, I like this album. Like this album. It's really cool. Now for 2006, um, I'm showcasing another concert CD. It is Kiss in Fukuoka, Japan of July 20th, 2006. And this is a really good ice recording. Showed this off to Xander on one of our Kiss topic videos, and this is a really cool set list. We got Rock City, Making Love, Watching You, King of Nighttime World, Deuce, Christine 16, Firehouse, Got to Choose, Kiss in Time, Heaven's on Fire, that the Japanese song that Paul sings with the audience, I Love It Loud, Love Gun, God of Thunder, Do You Love Me, Shout Out Loud, Some People Loving You, Black Diamond, Let Me Go Rock and Roll, Love Her All I Can, Parasite, She, Shock Me, Hotter Than Hell, Gotta Rock and Roll to You, and Rock and Roll All Night. It's a really good set list. And we have some type of artwork on the disc. It's very minimal, but it's something. Now for 2007. That takes us to another concert, but on vinyl. This is Kiss at the Sobaba Casino in July 27, 2007. Where Kiss performed as a trio because Paul Stanley had some health issues. So Gene had to take over the frontman duties. It's really cool. It's really cool. There's some really cool pictures on the back of this. The sleeve is a little bit dented, but that's cool. See, non-mint means more fun in the words of Rick. And this is really cool. Like it's colored vinyl. Don't want to get this out because like it's starting to rip, but it's some cool stuff. Like the pictures, I like this one. Gene with one of the fans dressed up as Gene. That's really cool. Now for 2008. All right, we got Jacoco Retsuten and Alive 35 concert. I'll go with Jacoco Retsuten first. This album was the first piece of new Kiss that I heard, even though it's them redoing the songs with Tommy and Eric. It was still really good. And this is like when I was, like I said, 2008 was when I was just getting into Kiss and discovering that there's new Kiss content, even though it's for 70s and it's for classic songs just re-recorded. It's pretty cool. I like this album. And for this one, Alive 35 at Paris, this is also a really cool recording. I have a lot of these Alive 35s, and it's really cool. I mean, I have them from like the Oberhausen and Copenhagen stuff, and this is really cool. I like this one. You get to hear a lot of the Kiss Alive classics on this album. Now 2009, another Alive 35. This time it's in Tulsa, Oklahoma, December 8th, 2009. This is a really cool concert also. Listen to this a bit, and it's really cool. Paul, while his voice sounds a little aged, he can still, in this time, he can still sing like his notes pretty good. It's pretty good. I would say the hardest ones to get are the 2009 Alive 35 CDs because it's more hard to get than the 2008 ones for some reason. Even though I have a few from those Kiss wristband stuff. It's really cool. All right. Now for 2010, we're going to be going with another concert. Sonic Boom over Europe in Newcastle, England on May 2nd, 2010. This is a soundboard quality for Sonic Boom over Europe and the hottest shows on Earth, and the hottest show on Earth footage is from 2010 also. So this is really good, clean audio. Um, and you get to hear a lot of like the Sonic Boom songs, like Marty Delilah, I'm an Animal, and Say Yeah. Obviously, Say Yeah, which I wish they played something else on the End of the Road tour, but you know they played Say Yeah. It's a good song. It's a good song. Just a little bit overplayed as far as current Kiss songs are. But yeah, I do love I'm an Animal, and this and I like hearing Crazy Nights with Eric and Tommy on in the band. It sounds really cool. Now for 2012 to 17, we're starting off with Kiss Cruise 2. This is the Kiss Cruise where they started playing some monster songs on the cruise, like Hallelujah, Long Way Down, Awful Love Rock and Roll, and all kinds of stuff. And we get to hear Out of This World also on this cruise. And these are songs that some songs Kiss brought onto their 2012 tour and just kind of dropped them completely for a bit because the only Monster songs they played while touring for Monster was Hallelujah and Out of This World. And it's like, that's a bit of a missed opportunity to bring back, to keep the other songs in. I would have liked hearing Eric's song on the Monster tour also. All right, now for Kiss Cruise 3. This one, they're still doing the monster outfits and playing Heller Hallelujah, but you're playing a lot more like classic stuff, like Anything for My Baby, Ladies in Waiting, Do You Love Me, Almost Human, which is like a fucking rarity in terms of hearing that song get played live by Kiss. Um, The Oath, which is really interesting to bring back an elder track. Say Yeah, and Mainline by, which is that's another good deep cut to hear is Mainline. Let Me Know and Black Diamond and stuff like that. I do like this cruise. You get to hear like a lot of the classic good Kiss songs. It's really cool. I like it. Now for Kiss Cruise 4, which was the Dress to Cruise concert, Dress to Cruise event. You got to hear some more of the same stuff, you know, like Oath again, Hallelujah. I heard also some Plaster Caster, Tears Are Falling, Let Me Go Rock and Roll, Look It Up. Um, And yeah, this is also another good cruise. I'm not showing the discs because, well, there's not much to talk about in terms of the discs. Now, another cool one is Kiss Cruise 5, the Alive cruise. And this basically is Kiss playing the Alive album from start to finish with and having an encore of like some later 70s songs like Ladies Room and stuff like that. I Still Your Love and all that. I Still Your Love. And they did Hide Your Heart. During the Sail Away concert, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, like I Still Your Love and Lazy Room for the actual encores of the cruise, it's pretty cool. It's kind of funny that Gene was kind of like butchering Ladies Room. It's like, yeah, it's been a bit since he's played that song. Now for Kiss Cruise 6, the Creatures Cruise. Again, another solid cruise, hearing some really good deep cuts from Creatures of the Night, along with some classic Kiss songs. It's really cool. Then we got Kiss Cruise 7, but are still wearing the Cruise outfits. This is more a bit of a, you know, we're playing some more deep cut stuff, along with another song from Sonic Boom that they didn't play on the tour, which is Hot and Cold. It's like, man, I wish Kiss would have pulled that out on the Sonic Boom tour, but it sounds good live anyway with their tuned down sound. It's really cool. I like it. And of course, they did play Say Yeah on the cruise after they did Hot and Cold. It was like, yeah, just play one that doesn't get a lot of, play one that's not well known. We'll play the more well known one, but just Say Yeah. Unfortunately, I wish there'd be Monday Delilah because that's how the album opened. But, oh well, whatever. All right, now for 2019 to 2024, we're going to be getting into the box sets. 2019 is the Kiss I Was There box set. This came out in 2019. Originally, and they made a version of this that's in Mylar. I don't know if the first one was in Mylar, but I know this is something that Rick would love, like a Mylar Kiss box set box basically. It's really cool. What it is Kiss playing at the Forum, like recording for Alive 2. And inside the book, you hear like a lot of you hear about a lot how Kiss did Alive 2 in certain ways that I didn't even know of how they did them. It's still pretty cool. All right. Now we're on the Kiss Royal Highnesses, Volume 2. This is a Dynasty box set, and it's got some shows from a Dynasty tour. I kind of forget which shows, but this is a really solid box set of for Kiss. Even though it's not put up by Kiss, and probably will never get a Dynasty box set from them, it's still pretty cool to have this. Be like, yeah, this is really cool. I like all the extras it has. Also, like you get like a Kiss Army envelope, a poster, and it's really some posters. It's really cool. It's really cool. Next up is the Kiss Unmasked European Tour box set, and this is the first one that I heard about coming out. One of these boxes for Kiss were coming out, and I wanted to get this box set. This is like really cool, an unmasked box set. Probably another album that we'll never get a box set on, but we have this and another one I'm going to show pretty soon. But yeah, we have these buttons, and that's really cool. I like it when the box sets include the buttons. It's really cool. I like that. I think the shows on this one, they're all European shows. I'm trying to remember which ones at the moment, but you know, it's still a cool set. You get like one already known unmasked show and one that's a little bit lesser known, which is Basil, or Basil, however you pronounce that. 2021, we get the Spirit of '76 box set, which is another cool set. It's the Destroyer cover, but it's got some. We do get some more buttons and a Kiss guitar pick. That's of Aces guitar picks. At least that's what it says, and some more buttons, which are pretty cool. And we also have these Kiss sticker action things, and they're stickers, and I don't know, like it's a cool piece of Kiss merch to show. I find it pretty cool. I wonder if this was actually a thing in '76. So I wonder if you guys in the comments can tell me like if this was actually a thing in '76. That'd be pretty nice. That'd be pretty nice. Like having like some either I'm guessing it's a replica of the merch, but it's cool nonetheless. 2023 had two box sets. We have Pre-Nights at Cobo Hall Arena, which is really cool. It's regular vinyl. You also get some cool extras, like just some photos. The whole trilogy set of the Cobo Hall concerts from '76, also pretty cool. Next up, we have the Creatures of the Night box set called Happy New Year. This is another cool box set. I got this when Kiss re-released their box set for Creatures of the Night, and it wasn't really for like an asinine amount of money. And I thought this one is the better one because at least we get, you know, two full Creatures shows from '82, Sioux City and Rockford, which is really amazing. And this was the first box set with both Eric Carr and Vinnie Vincent. Eric Carr was on the other unmasked ones, but this is the first one with Vinnie Vincent in the lineup, so that's pretty cool. Get some nice pictures here. We also have like a, get it? We have a Creatures of the Night notebook type of deal. That's pretty cool. I like that. And some really cool pictures of the band. We got Gene with that axe, looking awesome. We got Paul Stanley with the leopard print guitar. Yeah, this is a really solid box set, and this kind of beats Kiss's official box set for this album, because it's just, we want the whole, as Kiss fans, we want to hear the whole concert, not half of one, half of another type of deal. And now for the last one for 2024, I know they made a few more, but I don't have the rest of them. This is the last one that I bought, which was Kiss Mania 1980, and this one features the Sydney show and the Auckland show. And this is also really cool. This has a piece of merch in here that I'm guessing it's an Australian Kiss merch, and it is apparently it's a magnet. Didn't know that. This this Kiss keychain. Apparently this part's a magnet. I didn't know that. Kiss on this half, and the Kiss and the Aucoin management logo right here. So I wonder if this, I'm guessing this is a replica, not the, maybe not the real thing, but it'd be cool either, it's cool either way. It's cool either way. It's my, outside of the 8-tracks and cassettes, this is like my first piece of Aucoin merch. And now for 2015, to close out this video, it'll be this Kiss Ultimate Edition. This is a best of, basically, of Kiss songs that are, you know, different mixes, like the single mix, the extended stuff, I Was Made for Loving You by Jim Burgess. Jim Burgess also did Dirty Livin', and some remixes of X and Sex, which is like, those are, I think the Hot Urban mix is my favorite. The Sexapella one is, no, not even close to being a good version of that song. But this is a really good one. It also has a song that Kiss would not put on the best of, their cover of Rock and Roll Radio. That's really cool. I like that. All right, so there you have it. That was me showing my Kiss collection in year from 76 to 2025. I know we had to stop at 25 because I got nothing for this coming the previous year. But I hope to fix that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and Xander also said in his video that he hopes people will play along with this stuff, and excuse me again, guys, sorry. I put it along because I wanted to showcase, see how much I could showcase from point A to point B. We sort of made it to point B, but it was fun nonetheless. I enjoyed this video. This is a really fun video for me to make. Hope you guys enjoy it. And until next time, I'll see you around. Later.